That ain't no bots. Roar. Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. Now today's episode, got a whole bunch of stuff on the go, not really sure what to do first. Thought I'd say hi to this guy. Looks like he was sweating, but it didn't go so well. I'm surprised he died. He has that health regeneration ring. But if you're sweating anything over a level 2, it's going to be really rough. Alright, let's see what this notification is. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that reminds me. Last time I was playing it, I seen this, but I forgot to report it to you guys, so I left it open. So it turns out I sold some of the furniture at my FOMA shop, and I got 33 ped from it, so that's pretty sweet. No, that was one of those really big L-shaped shelves. I find they're great for show-up, so I figured it would sell eventually. Right, one of my new friends on Entropia was saying that he's having a beautiful day in Minnesota. I put same here, nice day as well. And speaking about the weather, I guess maybe what should I do first? Maybe a little bit of mining? I don't know, I seen some news from Bonnie, and she was showing that a whole bunch of ships arrived in ancient Greece. And I still don't think the update for next island has occurred yet, so maybe I'll do some mining to start us off. Let's try mining around the Cyclops, see what they got here. Maybe there's some minerals that are worth a lot. No, today was a pretty brutal day at work. Well, it wasn't that bad. Actually, compared to the last shift, it was way better. Now, I was doing lots of shoveling. What else was I doing? Oh yeah, we started today hedge trimming. I love hedge trimming because really all I got to do is rake up what they clip off the bushes and throw it in a bin and then dump it in the truck. And it's a real easy job. Well, physically demanding, but mentally it's easy. And that's my specialty, really. Gives me time to think about what I'm going to do after work and all that sort of stuff. Boy, not much in the way in resources here. This is the land of shit. Now, I had some interesting news today. What was I going to talk about first? Maybe I'll talk about the Venus thing. Did anyone hear? I can't remember if it was this show or my Clone Evolution show, but I was talking about how NASA has been doing a lot of bullshit with Venus lately. And I was trying to figure out, like, what's the deal? Why do they keep fucking everyone around with Venus? So, I talked about it, oh, here's some milky water. So I talked about it a fair bit on one of my shows, and when I was arguing with a lot of people, well, actually no one even really argues because no one even cares about Venus. It's like, I don't know, the way NASA has been talking about NASA for years, they've tried to make it sound like Venus is a wasteland, which life can never live because it's too hot and has too much pressure. So for a long time when I was a kid, I believed that too. I was like, oh, Venus, it's a fucking wasteland, there's nothing there. And then what happened that changed my mind was all of a sudden there was a girl on TV. And if anyone in Canada is aware, back, I think it was the 90s or something, we used to have a show called like Space News or whatever, and it was on Space Channel. And it was this awesome girl that did fucking shows. What was her name? Natasha Stillwell? No, I think it's a different girl. Here, hold on a sec. Let me go get her autograph. I actually got her autograph once. I can't believe I can't remember her name. She was like one of my favorite celebrities for a long time. Be right back. Alright, good news and bad news. Bad news, I couldn't find my autograph collection, so I won't be able to show off the autograph today's episode. I'll try looking for it for next one. And it took me a while to find out her name, but yeah, it turned out it was Natasha. I knew her name was Natasha. I think I was getting it mixed up with the Natasha from Daily Planet. But anyways, yeah, so this is the girl, Natasha Eloy. Smoking Babe. Got to meet her at the convention in Toronto a few times. I think she even remembered me one year. I was so happy about that. Probably because I asked her for her autograph more than once. I just wanted a chance to talk to her. No, she's always been my favorite host on the Space Channel News stuff, and she was covering this Canadian, or it might have been a Canadian student, might have been an international one, can't remember, but anyway, she was doing this story, and she was covering a girl. I think she was like a teenager in high school, maybe a college student, or yeah, I think it was high school. And what happened is she applied for time to use the Hubble telescope. I can't remember if it was a contest or anyone can apply for time. But anyways, that's what happened. This 16-year-old girl got time to use Hubble telescope. And it sounds fucking amazing, right? Like, I didn't even know that was possible. Amateur people could get time to use Hubble telescope. But anyways, so she got to pick where she wanted to point the Hubble telescope. And she had it pointed at Venus because she wanted to see what the poles look like. And guess what she discovered? More than any other NASA professor had to at that point. So she pointed the telescope, or she asked them to point it at Venus. They did, and they made one of the biggest scientific discoveries. And it was such a huge discovery on that news segment, they said that she won a scholarship to college or university of her choice because of how good the discovery was. And what it was, she pointed it, and they discovered ice. Venus has frozen poles. I was like, okay, maybe it's like frozen methane, frozen other gases, because obviously it can't be fucking frozen ice water, because NASA's been telling us that the planet's fucking boiling hot, right? They've been saying that for decades, right? So then more investigations were done, and it turned out it was water ice. Turns out Venus has the fucking coldest poles, like in our solar system. So you go to Venus and it has the colder temperature than Earth on a lot of its surface. Maybe not the equator. Equator's fucking boiling hot, I bet. But not the whole planet. So that's what I was kind of wondering when I was a kid too. I'm like, if someone came to you and said, hey, I know what the temperature of Earth is. It's like 70 degrees. And then someone would say, like, what the fuck, man? Earth has many temperatures. Sure, it's 70 degrees on one part of the planet, but it's not going to be that same temperature everywhere. What are you, idiot? So that's what we've been assuming with fucking NASA and Venus for all this time. We're like, oh, the whole planet's boiling hot, right? That's what NASA's been telling everyone. So that big discovery was made, I think it was around the mid-90s, like 96, 95, somewhere around there. And I was like, okay, great. Now we'll never have to hear this NASA employees saying that Venus is too hot to be habitable, because now we know that it isn't, back in the fucking 90s. And guess what happened? I was like really in tune watching all of NASA's stuff. So I keep like tabs on what they're talking about, all their press conferences. They went right back to starting saying that Venus is boiling hot on the whole planet. I was like, wait a minute, didn't we just hear a major discovery that says otherwise? And what I found out, I don't know if it's like teachers' college or maybe doctors' college if they have such a thing. But occasionally, like when you're going through like stages of discovery, or like say you're a teacher and you go and you're teaching your class history lessons, and then all of a sudden the summer holidays comes, you got to go to teacher college. And why is that? Well, the reason they go to teachers college is because, say if they're like a history teacher or a science teacher or something. Yeah, say if they're a science teacher, they're teaching the periodic table. So they teach the periodic table as they know it. The year that they became a teacher, they were taught the periodic table and so forth. But then every summer holidays, they have like a new teacher refresher course that they're supposed to go to. And say if the science teacher went to his refresher course, and all of a sudden they say, hey, there's 10 new elements that were added to the table. So now when you teach your class, you have to teach them the new elements, right? So then the teacher is like, oh, that makes sense. Where the fuck am I taking these teleporters to, for God's sakes? I'm trying to talk and do it at the same time. It's not working. Yeah, so what I think what happened is NASA made that big discovery, And I don't think NASA holds like a summer refresher course. So I think what happens is, like, when they make a big discovery, it's like, did they really send the memo out to every NASA employee? Or is it up to their own employees to figure out all the new updates? So I was thinking it's probably not some like giant cover-up that NASA's trying to hide what Venus is all about. I would have to lean more towards the idea that maybe these NASA employees spend all day at the golf course and they really don't go and get refreshers. They're driving around Tesla sports cars and fucking living the life, cocaine off hookers, everything at NASA, right? So it's like, man, it's like, are they really going to go and find out the latest information about Venus? So that's what I was thinking. Maybe NASA was just fucking up. Like, a lot of their employees just they weren't actually lying to people, telling them that NASA was a boiling wasteland, it was uninhabitable. But it turned out it was all a lie. Well, just factually incorrect. Alright, so let's go to the new places. Didn't I have a new place that I liked mining? Can't remember, last episode I found it. Forgot where it was. Let's try my regular mining run. It was pretty successful. So here, there was a big announcement on TV today, or Facebook, CNN, all the news agencies. They're like, surprise, surprise. They analyzed the atmosphere around NASA, or around Venus, and guess what they found out? That it's filled with gas that can only be created from life forms. So like, oh fuck, that means if Venus actually does have life on the surface. Surprise, surprise, right? Like, the regions that aren't fucking boiling hot. I can't even move because this place didn't load properly. So I'll let that go. Hopefully I can vape soon. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like, I studied the ancient research a lot about Venus, and I found out that the Japanese royal family, they went on record saying that their family has already been to Venus. They said that they seen that there was a civilization there. Whole bunch of weird shit. And then reporters came out and said, oh, the Japanese family was just sort of like a translation issue. That's not really what they said. But those statements were never corrected. It was stayed on the record as that. So, or they thought maybe they were just being metaphorical, like talking about stories or whatever. I was like, well, I don't know. In the article, they were pretty specific. They went to the surface, seen a civilization there. And what really fucks with people too is, like, if Venus has a fucking... Yeah, this is the other thing. Venus has this pressure issue. They're like, any probes they send there will get crushed because there's too much pressure. But I was thinking that's the same bullshit about the fucking other thing. I gotta get the hell off of this thing. It won't load. Like, I'm sure the pressure on Venus is crushing at some points on the planet's surface. But you know, on Earth, when there's like crushing pressure, it's like at the bottom of the ocean. And then you can go higher up in the ocean and it doesn't crush you as bad. So I'm thinking the same thing with Venus. There's probably a space on the surface of Venus that doesn't have the crushing pressure. And if I had to guess, it's in the region that's also not freezing cold and not boiling hot. It's like fucking room temperature Earth, not crushing temperatures or pressures. So yeah, so that's what I'm guessing. Alright, I need my map because I cannot find out where I am. Oh, there we are. I should have known that big rock is what I always run to. So here NASA's talking about, okay, they've proved it now that there is life on Venus, but they're probably going to be like, oh, how is this possible? The whole planet's boiling hot. It's like, well, what the fuck, guys? Read the memo. The whole planet isn't boiling hot. What the fuck? Like, sure, parts of it are boiling hot, but not the whole fucking thing. Guaranteed. Fucking frozen ice on the poles, that means it's not boiling hot there, right? Unless the atmospheric pressure allows water to freeze at boiling hot temperatures, but I highly doubt that. Oh, look at that. We got some Bombardo. Should I try to prove the theory? Does it give you... Oh, I got 63 that time. None of that fucking 20 kite. So the big kicker too about Venus, if it is habitable at certain parts, like hell, we even have the technology now that we can send probes there that don't get crushed. Because we've been practicing on withstanding high pressure, and we have better capabilities than we did back in the 70s, at least for pressure. So we can send like something there that won't get crushed by the pressure. So that's the other thing too. Everyone's like, let's colonize Mars. Let's colonize Mars. Well, the thing with Mars, it's like, what did they say, 2-3 year trip? Because you have to go there and back, and it's fucking so far. But then Venus is less than half the distance, and the orbit pattern it takes means you don't have to wait a year for it to go around. So it's actually like almost like our next door neighbor, practically as close as the moon. Like in difficulty sense. So this is the big kicker now. Is like NASA gonna keep telling us that we should go and colonize Mars when it's so fucking far away? It's like, why the hell would we colonize Mars if we have another planet that's half the distance and it's got water, ice, warm, cold, everything we need? Just because there's a little pressure, we're not gonna go there? So I was glad to see that on the news today. The fucking Venus shit is starting to get more mainstream. Like, that's been pissing me off since like the 90s, right? So it's like, holy fuck. Finally, some redemption. Fuck, did I even mind everything? I didn't even think because I was talking so much. Alright. No, it's funny, yesterday's show, I don't know if anyone watches the Clone Evolution show, but I was in a huge argument with my roommates about food. I forget what it was, something about spaghetti leftovers and room in the fridge and Tupperware and all this different food related stuff. I was like so pissed. And then the Clone Evolution has this one event, and it happens to be called the Hunger Games. We've been waiting for like 6 months for it to come. And then finally, what do we know? Yesterday, right as I was arguing about all the food stuff, oh, there's some dung. It's like just like me doing things in reverse again. I bitched and ranted about food for like a good half hour. Checked the fucking event. Oh fuck, I hit the probe instead of run. I guess we'll check under the dung. Alright, so that's a pretty much given. Like, I think if you find fruit somewhere, do not drop a probe near there. It's like, I'd like to say like 99% of the time when I do, there's nothing. So I think what the game does is it spares it out. Like, a little bit of fruit here, bit of mining here, bit of dung there. They don't stack it all on top of each other. Except for that one time I found 2 fruit right next to each other. There's always some little contradiction. So I'm pretty excited, like what's going to happen with space exploration. I don't know, lately Trump's actually been kind of getting on my nerves lately because a lot of his promises he fucking backed out on. He didn't put Hillary in jail. He didn't solve the migration issue. He actually made it worse. This fucking wall idea is a joke. Just fucking tax people that are coming here illegally. Fuck's sakes. It's like, man, make a fucking $1,000 a day tax. What do you know? You'd have fucking thousands, even millions of people running to the border the fucking day the tax starts. You don't need a fucking wall. Give me a break. But anyways, the one thing I do like about Trump is his space exploration program. It's like he started the Return to the Moon program, and some people are saying it was because China was getting close to mining the moon, and once they claim it for China, the rest of the world's fucked, right? So it's one thing that we know for sure, China does not share, and if they fucking mine everything on the moon, they're not sharing shit with anyone else. They don't share land, they don't share food, they don't share anything. I shouldn't say that for about like all Chinese people, it's mainly the Chinese government. But really, when you're going to blame a government, it is just a collection of the people's will, right? Phlogiston, some sort of new mineral, alright. It's probably not a new mineral, just fucking shit, but new to me. I haven't been mining much, so. But yeah, and I was going to talk about a little bit more space news that anyone like Star Trek might be into. Phlogiston, let's check it out. What is this shit? Maybe it's a next island thing? Ooh, a 400% markup. Too bad I only found shit. If that was 1 or 2 peds worth, woohoo! Right, so if anyone's looking for Phlogiston, looks like there's some around this area. Come here with a decent probe, you probably get a better hit than I did. Alright, so if anyone hasn't seen all of Star Trek Next Generation, or at least the episode called Clues. See, that was the thing. One day I was thinking, like, Gene Roddenberry, everyone like I was talking to and researching was saying Gene Roddenberry had a really good knowledge about space and NASA because they work close together. Like, there's a lot of pictures of him at NASA facilities and stuff. I guess because they wanted to get Star Trek as accurate to what NASA wanted, because NASA was hoping Star Trek would encourage people to work for them. Alright, we found one, and it's a bit of crude oil. I don't think I'm going to go on that edge and mine it, or should I? No, I'll just summon it. So I was thinking, if Gene Roddenberry knew a whole bunch of stuff about NASA and space, would he leave like any clues, like Easter eggs, about stuff he couldn't say, but he wanted to? So I was like, chances are he said everything he wanted to. He had science fiction at his fingertips, so he could just like basically get away with releasing anything and just put it in the form of science fiction. Boom, you're allowed to do it, right? But then I was starting to think, what happens if there was something that was so secretive that he couldn't, and he had to hide it in his episodes of Star Trek, like clues for people to find? And I was thinking the only reason I even considered that is because Stanley Kubrick, he did a lot of that with his movies. Like, if anyone's seen The Shining, like, watch The Shining and think about the moon landing program. There's a whole documentary that shows like all the Easter eggs Kubrick hid about the moon landing. Like, I didn't even realize, like, a lot of the paintings he had in the hotel were like NASA stuff or rockets, and even some of the shirts that that little kid was wearing were like NASA shirts. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that the first time. Oh yeah, and then the other thing too, he made the, what was it, the room number, the exact amount of miles it was to the moon or something, like 66 million or whatever it was. So I was like, hey, maybe Gene Roddenberry did the same thing as Kubrick, because they were like science fiction authors or producers or whatever in the same era. So I checked it out. I'm like, let's look for clues in Gene Roddenberry, right? So I typed it in. I'm like, clues, Gene Roddenberry, into Google, see what would come up. And then guess what I found out? Gene Roddenberry made an episode of Star Trek, and he called it Clues. I was like, whoa, maybe this is where he put the clues, right? So, alright, I'm back. Just got called away. Now I can't remember anything I was talking about. No, I was just looking at the picture of Natasha Eloy. Man, smoking. Alright, so let's get back to it. Oh yeah, Gene Roddenberry. So what did I do? I'm like, oh, surely this episode called Clues isn't going to have any clues about things that could be hidden about the moon landing or anything to do with NASA. So I checked out the episode. I'm like, so what is this episode about? I've seen it before, but never really like triggered any memories. I'm like, oh, it was an okay episode. Didn't remember too much about it. Didn't seem anything out of the ordinary. So, I don't know. I don't want to ruin the Star Trek episode for anyone if anyone hasn't seen it. It's the episode, I think it's season 2, episode 13, maybe something like that. It's called Clues. Ah, we found another resource. So I'm like, let's watch this episode Clues again. Haven't seen it since I was a kid. Or a teenager, I guess. Ah, fuck, man. I keep hitting the wrong goddamn buttons. Piece of shit. If I find minerals here, it's good, but if not, fuck! You know what I was thinking? Like, why do we have more tools for mining? Why isn't it just the same tool? It's so retarded, I have to constantly change. And retarded in a good way, I mean. If any of the censors are listening. Yeah, so I started watching the Clues episode. I'm like, oh, what's going to be... Could he have hid any clues in this? So does anyone know what was the episode Clues about? It happened to be the episode where the Enterprise, the ship in Star Trek, was flying and flying, and they're discovering a new moon. Sort of like how NASA went to the moon the first time, right? Basic same story. And when they get close to the moon, guess what happens? There's a fucking advanced civilization on this moon that is so advanced, they just take over the entire ship. And they promise that they're going to kill the entire crew except on one condition. That they can erase everyone's memory, send them away from the moon to never come back. And if they do, they'll kill everyone. So I was like, ooh, there's some interesting clues we got going, right? So if you want to fast forward in the episode, some of the other stuff that happens. So they erase everyone's memory, and the ship starts flying away from the moon. And what they did is they programmed the computers of the ship to give false probe data. They're like, oh, there was nothing on the moon, we should just fly away. There's something bad there, we should go away and never come back. So that's what happened. The ship starts flying away and everyone's not thinking anything of it. They're like, oh, that moon, can't explore it. Nothing good there, we should just keep going. But then there was a catch. There were some problems on the ship where they're like, hey, wait a minute. Something happened when we were on the moon because they're finding all these weird anomalies. And one of the biggest anomalies was Data. You know, the robot that was on the ship? They couldn't find out how to erase his memory. So they had to make the robot promise that he would never tell the rest of the crew that he'd help the aliens erase all their memory. And they actually recruited Data, the aliens, and told him to trick the ship into always sending probes so that they never send people to the moon. Because like, if they ever send people to the moon, it'll blow the whole cover. So that's why they had to keep sending probes and probes and probes, never allowing any live video, always the most primitive probes they could do. So Data's like, oh please, don't send a good probe, don't send people, just send these probes that I can alter the data, and then just, hey, everything's fine, nothing's on this moon. So I was like, isn't that exactly what's been happening with NASA since we went to the moon? It's like we were literally, for some reason, never went back. Even though we had the technology to do it, we were doing it already. And everything was pointing towards that if we kept going to the moon, we'd already like cure every disease, we'd have solved every environmental problem on the Earth, we could just mine the moon, not have to destroy anything on the Earth. So there was like shitloads of good reasons why we should have kept going back to the moon. So we got to start asking ourselves, why did we stop? And why did we limit ourselves to just probes? That's data can easily be manipulated. So that's where I started to get a little fishy with Mars. And like, how come we're sending all these 4K HD drones and they're never allowed to send any footage back? Like, why? Why can't you just send 30 seconds back? And they fucking refuse, decade after decade after decade. And they have all the probes there to do it. There's no problem. They keep trying to come up with reasons why they can't, but none of them are true. That's more opinion thing. They're like, oh, there's no scientific discovery in taking video of another planet. It's like, really? The first 10 seconds video of another planet offers no scientific discovery? Are you fucking kidding me? So I think, I don't know, the whole way the world is fucked up with the virus situations and everything else, the racial issues, we got a lot of good things going too, right? Like, it's not all doom and gloom. It's like, if I had to guess, there's something big coming with space soon. The way Trump has decided to take us back to the moon. Like, I don't know, like, I should have did the episode. Like, when Trump's moon plan came out, I was like, holy fuck. This moon plan, if what Gene Roddenberry said is true, something is going to happen that's going to prevent the space program from going to the moon. Like something that would shut down the whole Earth's economy. And then what do you know happened a couple months later? Fucking pandemic. But Trump's moon mission is still continuing, so even though all those setbacks occurred from the pandemic, they kept the rocket program going. So if I had to guess if the whole Gene Roddenberry thing is true, there's going to be a few other situations that are going to happen that are going to try to stop that moon program. Like maybe some sort of other global catastrophe, maybe a giant asteroid, volcano, who knows. Yeah, so I don't want to ruin how that Star Trek episode ends. I guess I already ruined most of it, but I'll leave the kicker for you guys so you can find out what happened. No, so I was thinking in the end, after watching that episode, I was like, everything we're experiencing about our current NASA problems, how they're like really fucking secretive and not telling the whole truth all the time, almost like they're trying to keep us from going to the moon for our own good. So maybe that's what Gene Roddenberry realized, and he hid the clues in his fucking episode. Oh yeah, and I never finished. Guess what happened to Gene after that episode? Fuck, man. Makes me sad to even say it. It's like, the day that fucking episode aired on TV, he died of a sudden fucking heart attack. So I was like, oh my god, that was the fucking last episode he made. Clues. Isn't that fucked? Right? Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't believe in many conspiracies. Like, I like to explore them, like looking for Santa Claus type thing, but you don't ever really anticipate finding Santa Claus, right? Right, I got some care root. Oh, that care root just ruined my fucking story of never having minerals near the probes. 24 cat root. So no, hold on to your seats, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this Venus story ends up releasing a lot more information than we knew. Like, I don't know, I've probably told my Buzz Aldrin story before on the show, but the day I got to meet Buzz Aldrin and stand like a few feet away from him, it's the only time I've ever been convinced that I've met a demon. It's like my whole fucking body was just telling me, you're standing next to a fucking demon. And I don't know if anyone knows the ancient stories about what the moon used to be. They used to use it as a prison, where they said that they would send the immortals to be stuck, so they'd be stuck on the moon forever. And I was almost thinking like they might have like banished demons to the moon as well. And the whole reason that we weren't supposed to go to the moon was because you could become possessed if you went. That makes me wonder if Buzz Aldrin actually does have like an entity attached to him. He is the longest living astronaut of that era too, right? Well, that was another thing too. When they said when the astronauts came back, they went through a huge bout of depression. So I was like, maybe that had something to do with the demonic possession. Maybe not. No, what it was is people were hinting that, holy fuck, man, is there like minerals everywhere around here? They were hinting at that the astronauts had to keep something secret that happened on the moon, and then people were making fun of them saying, oh, they didn't even go. It's like, no, what I think happened is they went, and the secret that they had to keep quiet was something to do with what Gene Roddenberry warned about. If I had to guess, there is an advanced civilization on the moon, and I don't think they use metal spaceships and shit. I think they're more advanced to the point where they're like energy beings. Sort of like the ones that the Enterprise encountered. We're not like finding advanced life forms that are building ships and walking around in spacesuits. These guys are like fucking multi-dimensional creatures that can fucking create planets and stuff. So they're not going to be like having bases there that we can see with like metal stuff. And I was thinking, like, when you're an interdimensional creature, like, what kind of base would you live in? I doubt it would be like a fucking windows and fucking doors and shit. If you're interdimensional, you can just walk through walls. What the fuck would you need doors and windows for? So I know I had Billy Carson. He's really into the space anomalies. He was on my podcast back when I was doing paranormal stuff. And he was an expert on that. He tracks all the possibilities of different ruins on planets and stuff. A lot of people make fun of him about that research, and I kind of do a little bit just because, like, I don't think it's nuts and bolts spaceships and bases, but maybe he's right, and there is relics of, like, metal civilizations left. Like, buildings and stuff, but probably not. I'm thinking it's more interdimensional stuff. They probably have, like, a huge base on the inside of the planet, and they have to, like, go through the surface to, like, even get to it. Now, most of the data and tests done on the moon have showed that it's hollow. Was it they blew up an A-bomb next to it to see what would happen? It rang for weeks. Alright, let's get a quick message from my sponsor. Quick. Finishing quick is my specialty. Today's Venus episode was brought to you by Crack. Crack, it'll fuck you up. Woo! Now I'm happy today because when I worked my shift, I had to do lots of grueling labor and my body reacted better today. So like it hurt like hell for the first while, but I recovered quicker. So I was like, alright. Like last time it took me days to recover. This time I almost felt like I could go play disc golf after work, but I'm like, fuck, I better not. Still have to lift my uncle later. Yeah, did anyone else get the funniest story on the weather news today, or Weather Channel? The Weather Channel was going on and on for like the past month that this winter is going to be the worst winter that we've experienced in decades. And I imagine it's like a doom and gloom story that they like playing it, right? So I'm like, okay, it's going to be the worst winter. Definitely no sign of global warming. So then what happens is they say, oh, no. The Weather Channel is like, oh, they're going to recant that story. Like, it's not the fucking ice age. We're actually fucking expecting the warmest fucking fall on record. I'm like, oh, okay. So they went from really freezing cold prediction to now it's going to be fucking boiling hot. We're going to have a really hot end to fall and shit. So I'm like, oh, that's good. That means that my plants will be fine. I don't have to cover them. Then guess what they play at the end of the story? Tonight's the earliest frost in fucking 80 years. You gotta go cover your plants. I'm like, what the fuck? You just finished telling me that it's supposed to be a fucking warm fall. Because global warming is not... Because of global warming, we're getting a warm fall. But you finished the broadcast by saying it's the coldest fucking night in 80 years and we have to cover our plants. Or they'll die from frost. See, that's the one thing I don't like about the whole global warming situation. People seem to forget. Warm weather grows food. Frost kills food. So in order for us to have food, which we require to eat, it's like we need warm weather. So really, when the planet gets warmer, that's actually a good thing. I know people will be like, oh, the weather will change, storms and shit. The fucking planet changes temperatures all the time and things adapt. It's like there's been hotter days in the past, there's been colder days in the past. We're actually very mild right now. This idea that we're going through extremes is kind of bullshit. Well, maybe extreme cold. We are heading closer to an ice age from just judging by our weather. But remember, weather is not evidence. Yeah, I think I made a meme about that once. I was like, the weather is not evidence. So I'm like, I put a picture of people shoveling record snow. I think, what was it, the biggest snowfall Buffalo had in like 50 years or something? And they're like, the conspiracy theorists have shovels. Look out. They all think it's an ice age. Alright, I gotta try check, make sure I didn't miss any resources while I'm talking. Oh my fucking Christ. Did anyone else just notice what I did? I'm dropping the 50 probes to complete the mission. Because I'm thinking, oh, I'm on Calypso. The mission just starts automatically. But no, I'm on another fucking planet. So what do you know? I just fucking wasted all those probes. Oh my god. I think I've done this 2 episodes in a row now. I think I'm not doing this daily mission anymore. It's fucking pissed me off so bad now. I'm fucking wasting probes because the goddamn missions aren't the same on every fucking planet. I was thinking, man, Mindark, if you're gonna add that fucking mission system, make it universal. Don't fucking do one planet one way and another planet another way, because it fucks players over, right? Like, you're always talking about if we found an exploit and we made profit off it, we have to give all the money back and fucking report it. Well, how about you fucking start giving RPED back? I was doing a fucking mission for mining, expecting it to be completed, but this planet isn't fucking working right. I want my money back. Piece of fucking shit. Sorry to rant, but man, that really pisses me off. Now I gotta try to remember, the days of not shitting blood is a good day, no matter what. No, for a while there I thought I was in the clear with my stomach issues, but they came back again. It's been off and on. No, today the pain in my stomach got so bad, I just went the whole shift without eating. I was like, fuck that. Every time I eat, it's just making it worse. And then when you're doing heavy physical labor and not eating for the whole day, boy, that catches up with you. Oh yeah, I almost started mining again, because I'm like, oh, I fucking... Oh god. So easy to forget. Okay, well that's loading, I'll read it up. What I did is I went to People Makes Games, and I was just checking it out, because my channel has had a huge spike in viewers, or not viewers, subs. It's like, where are all these subs coming from? So I'm like, maybe it's that People Makes Games again. So I checked People Makes Games to see how they're doing. And that video they did about the Mankini, starring me, just happened to be reaching, what is it, almost, here I'll show you guys so you can even see it. The People Makes Games video is already almost at 600,000. So that's over 500,000 people have watched it. I was like, holy fuck, that's kind of fucked, man. I never anticipated 500,000 people would be watching me. Obviously, there's more people in it. Raven Jade was even in a cool part in it. But, what else was there? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like... Did I arrive there or not? Oh my god, they sent me somewhere fucking stupid. I swear to god, this just makes me want to fucking turn the game off. Like, I don't know how many times I played Entropia, where some of the ways they've designed the game, it just pisses me off so much, I just want to fucking turn the game off and never play it again. It's like fucking McCormick, man, like, he could have a fucking riot with some of the shit that I've gone through in Entropia. I'm sure everyone goes through this fucking bullshit. Here I think in the mining codex is fucking working, but nope, not on this planet. What I would do if I was Mindark, turn off that fucking codex shit until every planet has it. And then when every planet has it, fucking release it. God damn, stupid bullshit. Now I gotta walk all the way on foot back there. I'm not even gonna do the daily mission today. Fuck that shit. God, man, fuck me over again. 2 fucking mining trips in a row. Piece of garbage. At least last time I noticed right away. But today I was like so excited and happy. All this stuff to talk about. Fucking bullshit game fucked me over again. Oh man. One of the customers I was looking after today, I was checking out his plants. Like, he has his 4 plants going. I was surprised. He hasn't picked his yet. I was like, what the fuck, man? I've picked most of mine already. Mainly because the fucking frost has been killing them. But anyway, so like I checked out his plant. Man, is he fucking good at growing. Like, I never even realized this. Like, has anyone heard of stress training when it comes to growing cannabis? It's like, basically, if you grow a cannabis plant on its own, it'll just grow a Christmas tree. Done. But if you want it to change how it grows, you can start trimming it and stressing it in different ways. So what most people do is they wait till the 5th set of leaves and they trim it, like right off the top, the whole plant. And then what happens is it doubles out and then it grows the same Christmas tree pattern again, except in double or quadruple. So you get like a huge bush instead of a Christmas tree. And then another trick people realized is usually you don't have enough space, like you'll hit the ceiling in your grow ops. So what people wanted to do was get the plant to grow closer to the ground. So what this guy realized you could do is take wires, tie it to those new branches that you've split into 4, and pull them down a little bit each day, more and more and more, and eventually you can take each one of those branches and pull it right to the ground. Then the branch will grow to the ground, turn, and then go back up. So what that does is it allows the stem to have a bigger growth space before it gets too tall, because they made it go all the way to the ground first and then up. So it's like almost like you can get double the amount of buds per branch. So I was like, man, that's a really neat idea. And I've seen it done on YouTube, but never in person. And I tried it a little bit myself, but I was a little bit too nervous because I was worried it would snap the branches off. But I think I will do it because, man, the stress training this guy did, it was the most amazing stress training I've ever seen. Yeah, maybe that's what this mining run is. Just a bit of stress training for me. So what he did is he grew his plant inside till it was like fucking giant Christmas tree. I swear, like the branch when he put it out must have been like good size, like fucking, like I don't know, like pretty huge. I was gonna compare it to something there, but I better not. So anyways, yeah, like he grew it huge indoors. And I did this too. When you take a plant, grow it indoors a whole year, and then put it outside, it just fucking grows crazy because it's already big when it first went out. You end up with like a 14-foot tree. But then I noticed the problem with that, when it's 14 feet tall, it's hard to like get a ladder next to it and start putting nets. Because the branches are going to grow so fat with the giant buds on them, they'll just bend and break. So you have to put a net so that it keeps it standing upright. So I was fucked in that situation, like 14-foot tree. How am I going to fucking tie a net way up there? Like I'll have to put giant posts in the ground and tie it off that or what, right? So this guy found the solution. What he did is when he planted his giant plant from inside and planted it outside, he planted it fucking sideways. I didn't even know that was an option. It's like he put the ground in like a bit of a lump and put his plant sideways. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do it sideways like that, right? And then I realized he did it because of the stress training. Because like once the tree or plant is sideways like that, it's like really long that way, right? Like I think it was like over 8 feet long. And it's close to the ground. And then all the new branches that start growing, they grow up. So it's like a new form of stress training. So now he's got those giant branches, and instead of being 14 feet in the air, they're near the ground because it's growing sideways. I was like, oh, that's fucking genius. And then he was able to tie all the netting around it. So that, man, his fucking buds were giant. I was like, oh my god. It's like I have to grow a plant like this sometime. So I don't know if anyone else has ever seen cannabis stress training like that. That was fucking unreal. It's like that was the best grown plant I've ever seen. You know what's the weirdest thing too? Only like 6 feet away, you can't even smell the plant. So it's like all those people going, oh, pot plants reek so much. It's like, I don't know about that. Some strains really don't until you pick them. And then after you pick them, that's when they start to reek. It's like it must activate it or something. Like, sure, I could smell it, like, faintly, but I was like, oh, maybe it's just me. And I've been trimming weed for, like, 8 hours a day for the past few days. Fuck, not even half done. Man. It sucks, too, because if you don't trim the weed, I notice people like, oh, just leave the leaves on. Hey, I saw fruit. People are like, oh, just leave the leaves on. And then let them fall off or prune them off after. So I tried that, and guess what happened? Fucking all my weed reek like leaf. It's like all the smell of the leaves just covered the buds. So every time I sparked up a bowl, the buds tasted just like leaf. I was like, oh dear God, what? That was a horrible mistake. I should have just pruned all the leaf off like I was going to. Maybe that's the best way in life though. Make a lot of mistakes firsthand, as long as they're not too damaging. And then you learn better that way. That's funny. Almost considered dropping a probe again. So soon I forget. Yeah, so yeah, I was reading the People Makes Games thing. Yeah, so I started reading the comments. I'm like, what did people write about me in the Mankini thing? See if anyone put anything funny. And I was like, holy shit, some people really put some priceless shit here. Alright, so... I don't know, am I close enough to that teleporter to just make a run for it? I'll be right back. It's funny as my roommate's coming down to tell me to finish recording, hurry up, because I have to go outside and cover my plants for the frost. I'm like, well yeah, guess what? I need people not to be downstairs so I can hurry up and finish recording. It's like, fuck. Oh well, they're just trying to be nice. I gotta stop being so cranky. Alright, so I'll bring up some of the comments. Probably going to run past some fruit while I'm doing it. I don't know, this is like the epic run for fruit. Alright, so this guy called Mayo Ketchup, he put, "So, what do you do for a living?" And then in quotation marks, "I sell mankinis." And this other guy puts underneath, he's like, "The future is now." And the other guy, "Gnome child." Another guy put, "He's living the dream." Oh man, this guy's comment. There are some serious lazy humans in this world. It's like, you think so, buddy? Let's have a competition who can do more athletics. No, I don't want to pick on him. That was a pretty good comment. He probably thinks that I sit around on computers all day. Let's say. Here's another comment. Lazy? That is dedication and resolve. To do all that work to gain currency in any kind, game or not. It still requires dedication, resolve, and skills to go. It's not that lazy anymore. Just another form of work. Oh, I thought it was going to be a funny comment, but that was pretty insightful. Yeah, this other guy puts, I know it's true, because I'm like cheering, because people like, you're cheering for, like, what did he put? Let's see. Woohoo! 184 ped. There's like, the joke is because that's such a small amount of currency, right? But I guess what they don't get is I've been crafting for like over 10 years, I think. And I've only gotten a global like that maybe 2 or 3 times. So that's like a once in a 3-year occurrence. So I don't even really care what the value of the pet is. I'm just like, woohoo, a fucking global, right? It's like a fucking miracle. I don't know if it's the loot pool. People say that if you withdraw too much ped out of the game, they won't give you globals anymore. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes me wonder sometimes, because really I've only had like I do massive crafting runs all the time, and to only get 2 or 3 globals, doesn't that seem ridiculous? Like, I was thinking I was pushing 200,000 clicks without a global. 200,000! Like, that fucking took months without a global. And then I tell people, like, oh, these small prints actually can't global, and they're like, oh yeah, they can. I'm like, really? It's like, I'm putting them on full condition, doing 10,000 clicks. Still nothing. Now, I guess technically they still can global, but it's extremely rare. Like, I'm talking like NASA telling you that fucking Venus is actually as warm as the Earth in some parts rare. Now, I think, what was it? That the South Pole or North Pole in Venus actually broke the record for being the coldest place in the entire solar system. So I was thinking, isn't that ironic, right? Like, here they're going on and on how the planet is fucking lava, the whole surface. Meanwhile, it broke the record for the fucking coldest. It's the exact opposites we always keep experiencing these days. It's weird. But I'm starting to get used to it. It's like the whole opposite prophecy. It's like, yeah, everything is supposed to be the opposite. They're supposed to tell me it's the hottest fall ever, while I have to go out and cover my plants from frost, because we're breaking all the frost records. It's like the fucking opposite. Okay, I'm hoping they respawn me there. Please respawn me there. I don't want to have to fucking use oil to get back to fucking do a mission that I did wrong and I had to fucking go all the way back in the first place. It's like double losses. Thought I saw fruit, but I'm not going to go pick it up because I'm all surrounded by animals. And just like animals in nature, they do everything they can to eat people every chance they get. I had the debate with someone vegan who was telling me that all animals in nature are friends. Like, go up north in Canada, get back to me. All the animals are our friends. So they're our friends when they're not hungry. That's basically it. Now I'm much more careful with the bong today. Yesterday I had a bong disaster. I put too much water in the bong, inhaled some of it with smoke, and man, did it fucking sting. It stung for like a good hour or 2. I was almost thinking I'm never going to vaporize again, but that didn't last long. No, I did not vaporize for the rest of the night. I was like, fuck that. Stinging too much. Let's check out Crystal Peak. Hopefully there's some action peaking, so I won't be pissed that I fucked up the whole mining run. Well, yeah, the whole episode's over. Fuck. Today's episode will be called The Failed Mining Run. Wasn't it wonderful? Hey, there's a whole bunch of people here. Maybe that means some crafting's going on. Yeah, Bonnie, she showed a whole bunch of pirate ships or some sort of ancient ships showed up in Greece. I should have went and looked for those. See? If I would have just talked to her first, fuck. Gosh. God bless this mess. Yeah, man. Yeah, if I was going to change the next island stuff, I think I would split that daily mission up, but maybe they did that because they can't afford to give the rewards 3 times. Having it all in the same broker limits it to 1 person per day, keeps that blueprint variety low. Holy shit, look how many people are here. Oh, thank you. I got healing from the alien, Jeffrey Kahn, or Kekan. There you go. I was gonna say, man, thanks for the heal. I'm pretty sure I seen a bikini top in there. Yeah, that's a chick. So Jeffy is a girl? Or it's a guy that chose a... Oh god. Did I just look at an ass? Who do I have to blame but me? I don't know. Maybe people are doing crafting missions? I've seen some people sweating in here before. Was that actually real? No, I didn't think so. Alright, so I'm not sure what's going on here. If anyone knows what everyone's crafting for, maybe that Sky Ripper vehicle came out? Maybe I should try a couple clicks just to make sure. Hey, there's Ava. I remember her. I think we were sweating together earlier. I don't want to do too many of these clicks because, man, I need to save them for when I know the Sky Ripper is out. But seeing so many people here crafting me is like, hey, maybe I should come here. Try for a fucking global. Alright, that's a lot of near successes at the queue. Well, that's a little bit into you. But what I'll do is I'll boost it to full condition. Let's just try our luck. Maybe they'll feel bad that we fucked up that goddamn mining mission, or God-blessed mining mission, and it'll turn things around for us with a big global. Well, yeah, I should read some more Mankini comments to finish it. Man, I don't know, there's like fucking thousands of Mankini comments here. I could read them all day. A lot of them are priceless. You guys should check it out. I'll try to remember to link the video. God, I tried to remember last time and I think I linked the same shit again. Yeah, here's this guy. He put, "Low, I just made $18 in 6 months. Thanks for letting me use your basement while I played this game at 52 years old." But I was thinking he's not far off. That was like my new goal in life, or my goal in life was always to get back on my feet again and move out before I turn 40. I was like, fuck, now that I'm 40, it's like, what's my goal now? 50? Yeah, it's like, so yeah, man, I'm trying to make it out by 52. We'll see how things go. Holy shit, I just got 10 pad. See, I'll be out of the basement in no time. Woohoo! Alright, I gotta stop. I gotta stop being so mean to myself. Like, jeez, what a jackass. Alright, that was pretty fun. I can't believe I just got 10 ped there. That was a nice way to finish the episode. I don't know, I finished that part quick. Finishing quick is my specialty. Link below. Comes in more than t-shirts. I promise to add some more stuff. Fuck, maybe I'll add it before Christmas. I don't know, I'm just like so psyched about getting the vlogging. I got so much cleaning around the house that I was supposed to get done during the lockdown. Never fucking finished it, so... God damn, so much, or God bless, so much stuff to do. Yeah, where's a nice place for a screenshot? X-Rager Island? I don't even think I've heard of this. Must be something unlocked recently. Or maybe I just ignored it. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think I wanted somewhere neat for a cool screenshot. Oh, too bad that dragon would have been neat. Let's do the cannon with enough room to write the title. Close this. There we go. So I'll put failed mining mission or something like that. I was hoping I could get my avatar to look at the camera. I used to be able to do that by hitting the 0 key. I think I key mapped some command there, but it doesn't work anymore. Someone taught me how to fix the problem and it didn't go so well. Oh well, hopefully I can get a screenshot out of something out of that. If not, I'll have to pick another one. Let's see. There it is. Alright, thanks for watching today's episode, everybody. If anyone's wondering what this dinosaur shirt is, it's one made by Sean Hatton, his Cybertronic Spree, based on the Transformers. It's one of his shirts that he designed. I'm pretty sure this is the one he gave me for free, too. So if anyone wants to help out the Cybertronic Spree, highly recommend going to their website. Maybe I'll link that video with the other one. God, I hope I can remember both. It'll be a challenge. Alright, so the other ways you can help out is Patreon. We've got a Patreon. Oh yeah, that's just one if you want to donate money. Like, what is Patreon again? It's so rare, I can't even remember what it is. Anyway, Society 6, no, there are people helping with Patreon. I don't want to bash them, thank you. And Society 6 is the store where you can get my t-shirts and other sayings, or one saying on multiple items. Swagbucks is the one where you can get discounts online. And it not only does it get you percentages off, but recently I found out it actually gives you the discount codes too. So you can use it a double whammy. And what else we got? GameKit, that's where you get paid to be a gamer, but don't do it through that unless you've already signed up for Entropia Partners. If you haven't signed up for Entropia Partners yet, do that and play the games on it, and they'll pay you in Project Entropia dollars. I just want to call them dollars. What the hell do I have to say Project Entropia for each time? But anyways, Hideout TV will pay you in dollars. Bitcoin will pay you... Oh yeah, that's that free spin lottery thing. Almost forgot. This free spin lottery one is actually my favorite way that people can help out the show. Just because I feel bad about taking money, but at least this way people are having a chance to win too. So hey, you guys can help me out and you might even make more than me doing this. So yeah, you hit the roll button and the free Bitcoin thing here. And I don't even have it on the screen, so I'm not showing you. There it is. Alright, so once you sign up to free Bitcoin, I know a few people ask me, they can't even find where the free spins are. It is a bit confusing. Go up to here, free Bitcoin spins. They should have put spins. They put free Bitcoin. Click that. Then it opens up, you have to scroll down, and then you click roll. And that's how you get to where I am. Right now I'm at 23,973 Satoshi. Let's give it a roll. 23,992. So it's going up with progress. Slowly but surely. Let's check out how many referrals you guys have already helped me with. Holy fuck. Check this. We're at 30 referrals, everyone. So I really appreciate everyone helping that. I'm going to try to use the money from that and invest it into Entropia one day. Who knows, once I start vlogging, I might actually get myself up to 1,000 referrals. Then we'll have some serious coin coming into Entropia. Keeping my fingers crossed it works out. Alright, let's go back to the affiliates. So yeah, that's the Bitcoin free spins if you want to help out with that. And the Virtual Mate Sex Machine. It's for adults and for men only. Unless ladies need a sex machine, I can still help out with that. I'm just kidding. Unless you're near Toronto. And we also got the Entropia Zine link below. And that one's pretty cool. It's got some information about what happens in Entropia in written form. So people are tired of watching my videos and just want to read so they get to the information quick. Entropia Zine's probably the way to do that. Oh yeah, and then Raven Jade, she's got shirts. And yeah, it's the vampire from Entropia. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and she's also got tons of shops and a YouTube channel, so don't forget to check out those too. I've only got her store linked, but I'm pretty sure from her store you can maybe find her website stuff too. Or just type in Raven Jade Vampire, you'll find it. Tell me, she's hard to miss. No comment on that one. Don't want to get myself into too much trouble. Alright, so yeah, that was the only other thing I wanted to talk about today was in the NASA news. Yeah, I still can't believe the NASA news. That's pretty amazing. Alright, so that's everything I wanted to cover. Let's see, that new mineral. Yeah, holy guys, I should have showed you how much fucking fruit I got. Yeah, I'll show you. Why not? Yeah, so this was the spoils of my loot today. Hopefully this fruit wasn't from runs before, so I'm making it seem better than it actually was, but... Holy fuck, is that a lot? And the dung, right? So that must be from 2 missions. I can't believe that's all from today's. But either way, that's a pretty good haul. Oh yeah, and then the 10 ped at the end. Whew. Today's episode wasn't too bad for being a failed mining run. I think I actually made a profit. Maybe not mine, or... Yeah, I guess I still dropped the probes. So, yeah, maybe with that mining or crafting thing at the end, it was enough to profit. Alright, so I'll check the inventory and see what that new item was that I got. Let's see what it is. Ah, here it is. So if you get the phlogiston, or phlogiston, or yeah, stun. If you get some of that in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can give it a like. I really appreciate it. And I'm pretty sure this flogstone is one of the ingredients that I need for the hero sword. But I'm going to check it out. Because I was thinking, shit, if the markup's that high, that means this mineral is actually good. And it's probably good for crafting. And if it's an Arcadia or Next Island specific, it's probably for the hero sword. So I'll check that out. Yeah, so if it gets in your vaporizer, you hate it, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can help with a like. Really appreciate it, everyone. Right, take care. Make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor. Because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you tomorrow. Here's 3 things, all at the same time. God's sakes, or God bless it, I hope I remembered the 2 videos.